So if you want to get a glider certificate, it is an FAA certificate, your license. So what you need is 10 hours of flight time. It has to be at least 20 glider flights and then 2 solo hours. And then you take an FAA written test, and then you go up with an FAA designated pilot examiner and you do a practical test. And then after that, you get your certificate. And it's kind of nice because if you decide you want to fly powered aircraft later down the road, you just add that powered certificate to your pre-existing glider certificate. You're already, in the eyes of the FAA, you're already a pilot. All you have to do is go get an add-on. So kind of an interesting way to do that. To solo a glider, you only need to be 14 years old, and there is no restriction on when you can start training. I've seen it. I've seen a 14-year-old solo. It's totally doable. The youngest student I've ever worked with in an aircraft is actually 9 years old. So if you're a parent and you have a son or daughter that's really excited about flying, or maybe you just want to expose them to something they've never done before, bring them over to Atmore, and we'll put them in a glider. We have a mic here instead of wearing your traditional aviation headset. 4-point harness here. This is emergency canopy release. So we have a Grove 103. This is one of our club aircraft. So as a student, you would be sitting up here, and then your instructor sits back here. So we have, first off, this knob here is going to be your spoilers. So when this is back, the spoilers come up. So I'm spoiling airflow. Creates a lot of drag when those are deployed. When they come up, lock in place. This is trim to relieve control pressure that the pilot has to manually input. When I move this up and down, the stick moves. So that way the pilot isn't having to constantly hold pressure on the stick. All right, we have the release knob. So when we get up to our desired altitude, we pull this knob and the glider is now free from the tow plane, free from the rope. Stick, push to talk, rudders, and then on our panel here we have our airspeed indicator, altimeter, variometer similar to a VSI in a powered aircraft, a G meter shows how much positive or negative G's the glider is being introduced to, radio and transponder.
Yeah, this is a Yonker JS3 made in South Africa. It's got a jet sustainer engine. This engine puts out about 80 pounds of thrust, and it gets a 28-minute burn of 5 gallons of diesel fuel mixed with 2-stroke motor oil. So that 5 gallons in a sawtooth pattern will get me about 70 nautical miles. It's a climb, glide, or in a cruise mode, I can get about 50 nautical miles just cruising straight.
Start your training in the Grove 103. It's tandem. We have 2 seats. And then once you learn the basics and you get that solo endorsement, you knock out your first solo, then you can go over to our Grove 102, and it's essentially the same airframe, just a single seat, and it has retractable landing gear. And then like that, you're doing great. You're starting to stay up in the air longer and longer. You can team up with one of our club members and have them mentor you. They're also certified glider instructors, and then you go out and they're duo discus, and that's another tandem glider, but it's high performance. And then that's when you can go out and start doing distance flights. That's whenever you go, you're starting to get 50, 100, even 150 miles away from your home field, all on a single flight. And then if you're hooked, you love it, you want to keep doing it, that's whenever we have members that will go out and fly by their own private ships. That's where it starts to get more and more. You can really do whatever you want to do. If you just want to stay local and do local glides around the area, that's fine. And then the more you learn about the sport and you build your confidence and your skill level increases, we just fold the wings up, we put the ships in trailers, and then you can trailer them all over the United States if you want. You go to New Mexico, California, Colorado, and get up in the mountain ranges and really have impressive fun.